Hi there, YouTube. It's your boy back again with another video. Today is going to be a new series that I'm starting and I'm attempting to complete, which is Rogue to Regional. This is a series that I thought of because I'm not somebody who likes to play all the meta call characters. When I pick a character, it's usually because I like what they do. Granted, a couple times they've been meta, but in this case, the character I'm picking to take to this regional is Louisville. I'll be taking Kirishima 3. A lot of people ask, why would I take this character? He doesn't seem very good. Not many people play him. That's just because this character has a special place in my heart. He rotates at the end of the year, and this is a character who I first time ever top cut with back in 2023 on a webcam regional. Really fun character. I really love the idea of this character. Fits what I like to do really well, which is play defense and put my opponent into tricks and making them think through their turns and their defensive turns. Okay, we'll start with the attacks. First off are going to be the openers. The first one we'll show you is going to be full Cowling Impact. This card's very good in Kirishima. It blows up a foundation if they fully block it from itself, and Kirishima then also full blocks from his response, saying if you full block it, destroy a foundation, your rival destroys one. Very good. Also Fury, so his enhance works on it. So if they partial it, they take 2 extra still. So they don't want to partial it, but they don't want to full block it, so they kind of just eat this one sometimes. It's free momentum for you. Very good card. Next one will be probably the best attack in the deck, arguably, Jotun's Bite. This card is probably the best. It's more than likely going to make its way to a 4 of. Very good card. Gives you the rest of your attacks stats because it gives +1 to your other attacks that you play this turn, other than itself. And on top of that, refuels the hands by Blitz, discarding a card, picking up a copy of Jotun's Bite from my discard pile. Very good card. Lets you find your gas. And then on top of that, gives everything more damage, making things more scary, making them want to full block to use your response with. Very good card. Next one is going to be a 3 of Earthbreaker. This is probably like up there with Jotun's Bite is the best. You could argue that it is. It says if I get behind, I get to restabilize a little bit by drawing a card and then giving it a damage. I stun 2. If you don't have the low block for this card, I'm going to blow 1 up. And sometimes I just don't have the low block, and that feels really good. It also can blow up cards that commit to pass checks. It's a 4 low for 5. 1 high block, 5 diff, very good. Definitely one of the better cards in the deck. Definitely recommend playing this card if you do play this deck. Next one are going to be those flow cards, the flow attacks that are kind of there to help push you through the turn. The first one's going to be Pact of Wrath. This is also a situational card. When you're playing against decks that ramp momentum, especially say you're going first and on turn 2 they're trying to get their momentum early so that way they can do things on their turn. This card just says no to that. They're not allowed to steal momentum. It will take it back by from its blitz and its response off the blitz. Lose up to 2 health. If you've lost 2 health, you gain 2 speed. If you lost 1 health, 1 speed. But if you did lose the 2, your rival spends 1 momentum. And then the response will proc, saying if your rival spends 1 momentum, gain 2 damage. Very solid. Can help become very good. On turn 3, turn 4, this can be a 6 high for 6. That is very fast and just they don't want to deal with. So they just kind of eat that, but you can give it stats, and you can then force it to be really scary, especially if you play Jotun's Bite. This thing just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Very good card. And then the very good flow is going to be your Battle Aura releases. Doesn't have Punch or Fury, so it doesn't synergize with Kirishima's Enhance at all, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is to draw you more gas and to get big itself and force them to block it. You're trying to bait out blocks with this card. You're trying to get them to fill their card pool for your win conditions, which are coming up here in a second, but just a very good card, decent block mod, super easy card. Been good for a while. That's the reason why it's been $30 for so long. Now time for the win conditions of the deck. The first and major win condition that's like the most prominent one is going to be Fueled by Tragedy. It's a 5 diff, 1 low block, 5 low for 5. It says Blitz. You may sacrifice 1 foundation. If you do, give this attack powerful rating +2. It comes with powerful rating 2 to begin with. So this could be a powerful 4 move at the cap off of your turn when they can't block this because they have stuffed their card pool with their blocks. And now this is like an 8 speed move that they're tapped out for, and this can become massive. If you have 2 momentum, this in theory is just a 13 damage bomb coming at them. And if you have any other way to give damage, Jotun's Bite for example, this can just become unnecessarily big. And your opponent just goes, yeah, I lose because I didn't prep for this card. And then the last win con of the deck is Luna Arc. Someone asks, how is this a win con? It doesn't give stats. That's not what its purpose is. Its purpose is to say you spent your low blocks on other attacks, not this one. I spend momentum, and you have to show me a low block in order to block this card. I've killed many people because they were not expecting it, because I went full cowling, Earthbreaker into this card, stat pumped this one with one of the foundations I have, being Enormous Axe, and now they're like, oh, I don't have the low block. This is for 9. I just died because I have 8 health. That's rough. Definitely forces your opponent into some tricky situations when they're holding low blocks and high blocks because they're trying to prep for your attacks, but now they use them and they don't have them anymore to counter this card. And then the last, this is like the really situational card, but also like one of the most fun cards in the deck to play around with. A 2 of Unyielding Destruction. Yeah. Blowing up the board is a lot of fun, especially when your character says, this is a 2 mid for 6, that I blow up the board and you full block it, we're both down to 3. This card just says, you got the lead on the foundations, I'm restarting the game from turn 2, and I'm going to build back up, and you're going to have 3 foundations going into your turn 3 or whatever turn you're going into, and I now can block to hopefully whittle your board down more, or you have to get rid of your attacks to draw more foundations to restabilize your state. Very good card, really fun, but I'm also going to try playing it without the card to see how it feels. More than likely, it's going to come back in because it has just so many times value, especially on turn 2, and I build 4, you build 5 or 6, and I go, hey, you're back down to where I am. Cool. Next, we'll get into the assets and actions. These all have very unique purposes in the deck. Besides, like, one is just generically good, but all very unique in what they do. First is 2 of Knott's Flask. Fills the discard pile for your Jaw Titan's Bites, so hope you can find them and then pick them up later. Also has stat manipulation, damage, which is really important to a character who doesn't give stats, and reduction. So very good, keeps you alive, sometimes can make the difference between you living and dying. Next one is a 2 of Chomp. We all know why this card is good. It destroys foundations. This character wants to destroy your board. That's why I'm playing him. Destroys one slot I get to choose. And then on top of that has Breaker 2, a 2 mid block Breaker 2. So it has relevancy for blocks if I don't use it to blow up your board. It can have very detrimental effects to your opponent's game. Then we have a 1 of Showdown. So someone will be like, oh, is it just generically good? It is generically good. Very good card, but it's very unique in this character in the fact of if they play a high attack as their first one on a 4, they check a 5, they didn't tap anything, I full block it with this card, I now can respond Kirishima to blow up one of their foundations and then respond on this one to tap the other 2 or whatever out of their 4, 3, whatever, and now they are stuck to 1 or no foundations ready, and they're like, well, if I play another attack and I took a 3, my turn's over. And you're probably going to get a lot of offensive turn. Your next offensive turn is going to be really scary. And that's where this card makes a difference. It makes your opponent overcommit early to hopefully help you ramp into your aggressive late game earlier. And the last one, which is my generically good action, is I Would Like to Rage. It is plays with Furies. You play a lot of Furies. It also is a free card in your deck. It draws you a free card. It replenishes itself and it doesn't count as progressive. It's a free card. If you're not playing this card on any, really, in my opinion, on these symbols, and even if you're not playing Fury, it's free. It just cycles your deck a little bit and helps you find more stuff. There is really no downside. If you play the Fury package, you should just be running this card if you can. Now I'll do it for the actions and assets of the deck. And now I'll get to the foundations. A little bit more of the bread and butter, what's kind of showing how this deck's going to play and how you need to play this deck. This is split below odd. The first one's just going to be the Zero Discs. The Zero Discs are just generic, and they're very good, and we know why they're good, so I'm not going to be going into a lot of detail. The only one that hasn't been played as much as I think it should be is Class Membership, especially in a character who revolves around blocking. Yes, it doesn't revolve around his full block ability, but when you can't full block it and you have to partial and take 3 or 4, this says you don't take as much, which is very important when you have a limited health pool anyway. Yeah, next one. We all know why it's good. Botan's coaching. This thing's been expensive for a Zero Diff for a little while. Good draw, good filtering of your hand. It's a very good card. I'm not going to go into depth on this one. We all played this card enough, or I've seen it played enough to understand why it's good. The last foundation, which doesn't take much explanation as well, because I have much text on it, is 4 Syndicate Target, 0 Diff, 0 low block, 6 check. Very good card. Definitely can keep you alive, and currently there's a lot of low attacks right now that are very good. Earthbreaker being a prime example. That card also really hurts Kirishima, so on the back end of it, it can be detrimental. But it's your block for it. It's your block for any other good low attacks, and it just allows you to stay alive. And maybe on that chance you go, I need to check a 6 to win. Check your deck, see what's left for 6s, and you go, hey, I got a 33% chance to do it. Might as well go for it. And if I don't get it anyway, I die on the backswing. Very good card. Okay, next one. This is your draw engines for the deck. First one being Battle for Dominance. It's a 3 of. It says flip, remove one card from your card pool on your rival's turn. So more than likely, it's going to be your block. Remove one from your card pool, draw a card. Really good with Kirishima. When you full block, you destroy a foundation to blow up one of theirs. Flip this to draw a card. You've now debuilt them one, refreshed your hand. You don't have a progressive card pool. Helps a lot in that aspect. The other one is good with cards like Showdown. Say you're playing into a Godzilla who's playing City Rampage. You can cancel his form ability, so now no one gets bonus check hacks to his turn besides his face. You can cancel that. He plays it. Flip this. Remove it. Draw a card. You didn't play the action for much cost. It's very good. It has a lot of beneficial use, and so forth. Next one we will talk about is going to be a 2 of Pushing the Limits. Pushing Limits has a lot of value, especially in the character who destroys his own board. So destroy one, flip, draw, and your opponent destroys one. Very good. Allows you to, again, replenish your hand when you block. Allows you to keep yourself going on defense. That's really important in this deck. You have to be able to play defense if you are planning on playing this deck and you want to string out crazy, then not play defense because you don't have the cards in hand. It's not going to work very well. You'll probably die on turn 2, turn 3. This character has to be able to play defense. If you can't, you just die. And then the last draw power, which is a very common one back from set 1 of my hero, is Latent Skill. Got a reprint because how good this card was in that state of the game. It's still very good. Discard 2 to draw 2. Very good. Just got to be aware of cancels. Cancels do really kill you with this card. You can accidentally flip it, and you have to discard the 2 cards. If you discard it for cost, because it is, cancel the ability, you don't get them back, and you don't get the cards in your hand. Very good card. Definitely can help you win the game, but got to be wary of what they could do to you if you misplay. Next one is just kind of a anti-disruption piece, being a 2 of Dark Ward. It's still in a little separate category. Dark Ward is very good, especially against Breaker and Showdown and other cards that respond to the card pool. Does not stop runaways, so don't think it does, because it does not. They will still run away you, and you can't cancel it. Now we're going to get into the how do we stay alive, because that's the most important thing in this deck, and that's the million-dollar question, is how do we live? First answer to that is a 3 of Whip and Clash. Would love to put this to a 4 of, but it's almost impossible to fit any more cards of high blocks into this deck, and a 2 disc. Again, destroy one face down, -2 damage, or plus, no, just -2 damage, minimum 1. So you can't put it to 0, but who cares when you can put it to 1 and take 1 damage to the 20. They hit you 20 times if you keep doing that. Granted, that's never going to happen, but you get the point. But then also it synergizes with Kirishima really well because of the fact you can flip it on your turn. You know they're going to block a move, or you may think they're going to attempt to block it. Build one in committed, blow up the one you built committed with Kirishima. Keep your stage where it was, not net lose anything, where your opponent will net lose 1. So it does have some niche play in this character who is trying to keep his stage as healthy as possible. Next one is your Speed Hate, Rabbit Finesse. -2 commit for -2 speed. If you've destroyed a foundation in this enhanced step, -3 speed. There are ways to destroy the foundations in this character. Your character does not count for this card because it's not during the enhanced step, so you can't use it because it's during the block step, so the next attack doesn't matter anyway. But -2 speed is important, but also if you can get it that -3 speed, it does change what you can and can't do when it comes to blocking. It also has a 3 mid block, which is relevant because of Besiege being a thing. Same with Botan's coaching from earlier. Next one is a 3 of Always Cool. This card's been good since it came out. It says your damage can't be manipulated or changed. So say it's a 5 damage move, I can half block it, take 3, and on the response of class membership, heal 2, so take 1. Very good. On top of that, can build you a foundation to then respond with Kirishima and get a free destruction again, like you do for Weapon Clash. Very solid card. Again, it's been good since it's really come out. And then the last one to stay alive, 2 of Botan's coaching. This card has seen play in the past and a lot of play when it first came out. Really dwindled because blocking isn't as popular as it used to be. Because of our health totals of the characters we have. But again, saying +2 difficulty to your move early or on the turn that maybe you die is very good, especially when you go, hey, I'm going to Breaker to you and Keiko's Age you. So now you're like, ooh, do I play an attack? And in theory, have +2 difficulty, -2 to my check. So you play it on like a 6, check a 3, but it's really on a 8. So you commit 5, you're not going to do it. And you're not allowed to play early attacks. If I Breaker you and then Keiko's Age you, or if I choose to Breaker you, not Keiko's Eiju, you still check bad, you commit out for it, and you play another one, I block that one, and Keiko's Eiju. Now you're like, yeah, my turn's over. I can't attack through that. Really annoying to deal with as an opponent. And now we're getting into those real synergy pieces with Kirishima. First one being a 1-of Unbreakable. Has his face on it, so you assume it's very good for him, which it is. 3 diff, 2 high block. Cannot be destroyed due to rival effects at all. That includes character effects. So Godzilla, if he wipes the board, you can keep a foundation for you. There's one of these on the side. What is probably going to be one of the sideboard right now, I don't think it's in there, but it's going to find its way more than likely because how good Godzilla is. And then response, can't destroy, remove, or flip my foundations from non-character abilities for momentum. So if you go, hey, you need to flip 3 foundations for me, I go, no. Or you play, say, Ravages of War, I can say no to the destruction of the flip. Very good. And then enhance, commit, destroy foundation. If the attack is blocked, it's considered completely blocked. So helps with the character. So say you have a showdown in your hand, they play mid block attack, now they're in high attack, you can tap it, blow it up, block a showdown, still get the whole benefit of it, and so forth, or just any other mid block in general. Next one, 3-of, which is arguably the best foundation in the deck, enormous axe. You may ask if it's the best foundation, why isn't it a 4-of? I teetered on it. It's definitely good enough to be a 4-of, but I'm trying to lower it by 1 to see how it feels. It felt pretty good in the webcam Wednesday I participated in. But no, it's that pump, rebuilds itself and destroy it. So if you blow it up with your face on the block, you can rebuild one. Again, pretty self-explanatory, and it has stats for a character who doesn't give stats. Also 1 mid block, so it is very good for blocking too. And the last foundation of the deck, 3 coming to terms. This card just says everything's for like 6 or 5 or whatever if you partial it or if you full block it. So if you don't block it at all, so it just feels really bad to really throw into, like, you play your Earthbreaker, you blow up one with this card, you say, hey, if you partial it, you burn 2. So now you're taking 5 if you partial 6 anyway, or if you don't block it, you take 6. So it just net says nothing matters, and so forth. Next will be the sideboard of the cards. First one is going to be the character in the sideboard, which is Eren Yeager from the set 1 of Attack on Titan. It's a 6 hand-size character, so it's a little less cards in hand, which is fine, because you're playing this character for the health total of 34 health. So that way, because if you're going second, you probably aren't going to feel very great as Kirishima, especially if you won game 1 and you're going to game 2, you have a lead. It forces your opponent to play a little differently because it plays the opposite game plan, which is if you want to build the 9 and get wide, sure, that's fine. I will transform and beat you because I have the stats. But also says if you don't block some of his moves, you're going to flip one. If I don't block one of your moves, you're going to flip one. So you're going to be flipping your stage because I'm not blocking maybe some of your moves that aren't very big, or you're not blocking my moves that aren't very big. And so your opponent just goes, okay, but now I flip stage, but why does that matter? Because when I flip him on the backside, he is going to say, all those flip foundations now, I get to do what Kirishima does. I get to blow them up. But I don't need to also, I am destroying my foundations to do the same thing that I was doing with Kirishima. But it feels really bad when you have 6 flip foundations, and when I'm blowing up foundations, I'm rebuilding some. Feels really bad. But also, then lets you pick up attacks like Jawtine's Bite to do a lot of really good stringing and killing of people when you need to. First will be then the attack of in the sideboard, which is 3 of Wing Nomu. Very good on Eren, especially. It's mainly in there for Eren. I'll take out my unyielding destructions for this card because I don't want to reset the game state with Eren. I want to get one of us to 9. This card, you can't partial it, so it's good in Kirishima. So you're forced to full block it if you want to block it, meaning I blow up one of your cards. And then it's a 5 damage move. It's a 4 high for 5, which is not great stats for a 5 diff, but again, could be worse. Also, then Eren is a 4 high for 9. That ruined you one. If you're on my backside, it's very good. Next card is going to be a 2 of Moment of Normalcy. It's your reset. When you're playing against a high stat character who gives tons of stats or is a very high statted deck, this is how you can reset the card. So maybe block or even not block and stay alive. It's what it's there for. Then 2 of Solo Pro's Ferocity. This is your speed pump in this deck for your Furies. Also, there's more destruction when you need it. Again, this card will probably take one of these out of my side, leave one in, put one of the Unbreakables in for it. But for now, it's been a 2 of. It has its value, and it has had its worth. And the last card of this whole deck in the sideboard is 2 of Growth Dominance. Very good to your asset hate. That's all it's there for, is for assets. It's trying to get rid of the assets. I'm going to probably put in that new Sasha Foundation that blows up assets or backups, because backups are becoming very, very, very good. And they need to get dealt with. Not saying they need to get dealt with as in like hit by the creators of the game, by UVS Games, but just they need to get taken off the board sometimes. Like the 4-diff that I think the Power, the Founder or whatever, or the Founding Titans or something. The one that just is 4-diff that's Hanji one gets to play with really well. That I can now get rid of that card. Super solid, allows you to hopefully control the game, but this card right now is enough for the Foundation and asset destruction. So yeah, that is the Kirishima 3 list. Definitely a fun deck to play. Hard to pilot, especially pilot it well and win, because again, no stats and has to play defense, which we're not used to. But very fun. Hopefully, I can make my way to the Louisville Regional and really shake it up a little bit, have a good time. There will be new editions of this deck coming out in the future. Deck profiles with it, I'm not going to do them all the time, but I'll probably do one more before the Regional, like a couple weeks before I start doing my major testing for it. But you'll be ready to see another one, or you'll probably see a couple of me playing in like weekly webcam Wednesdays or some sort of event at some point. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this deck profile of Kirishima 3, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!